Okay, so what if I told you that one of the most famous classical composers ever was basically a pro gamer, a top-tier sound designer, and the original remix artist, all rolled into one? Sounds wild, right? Well, let's dive in and check out the incredible skills of Maurice Ravel.
First up, I've got a challenge for you. Imagine you're a music producer. You have one single, simple melody. That's it. How do you take that one little tune and stretch it into a 15-minute epic? A track that just builds and builds into something everybody knows. Seems kind of impossible, doesn't it? Well, Ravel actually did it.
And he did it with his most famous piece, Bolero. Now, seriously, forget everything you think you know about classical music being all complicated and stuffy. Bolero is built on one of the simplest, most daring ideas in music history. It's not some boring classic. It's more like a brilliant, high-stakes musical experiment. So what was his hack? How did he pull it off? It's almost like a cheat code for making an epic track. Step 1, you write one super catchy tune. Step 2, you have a snare drum play the exact same rhythm over and over for the entire 15 minutes. Then, step 3, you just slowly start adding more and more instruments. And finally, step 4, the whole thing just gets louder and louder and louder until this massive finale. It's an absolute masterclass in building tension. All that layering of instruments, well, that brings us to Ravel's first superpower. He was the ultimate sound designer. This is all about his mastery of a skill called orchestration. And trust me, this is where he completely changed the game. So, what even is orchestration? It's basically the art of deciding which instrument plays what part of the music. To put it in gaming terms, it's like picking your character's loadout before a mission. You don't just grab random gear, right? You pick the perfect tools for the job. Ravel knew exactly which sound would create the perfect effect at the perfect time. To really get the difference he could make, think of it like this. A song written for just a piano is like a really good pencil sketch. You know, the lines are there, the main idea is clear. But when Ravel orchestrated it, bam! He turned that sketch into a full-blown 4K digital painting, just exploding with color, texture, and all these amazing special effects. The guy basically had the ultimate sound design toolkit. He knew the unique voice of every single instrument inside and out. And he didn't just assign parts, no way. He was blending instruments together to create brand new sonic colors that no one had ever really heard before, all while making sure everything was perfectly balanced and crystal clear. All right, so he's a master sound designer, but that's just one part of it. Ravel was also a master architect, building these incredible detailed worlds just using his own original music. Think about your favorite video game. You know those levels that are just perfectly designed, where every enemy placement, every platform, every little secret feels like it's there for a reason? That's exactly how Ravel wrote music. His compositions were famous for their precision. Every single note had a purpose, no fluff. And if we look at his blueprint, you'll see what I mean. First off, his music was often insanely hard to play. You needed to have some serious skills. He also used rhythm to create these awesome energy boosts and cool effects. And get this, he was a master at making the orchestra sound like things from nature, like ocean waves or bird chirping. For his ballets, he created these rich, lush soundscapes that you could just totally get lost in. Okay, so we've got a master sound designer and a brilliant architect. But maybe the coolest skill of all? Ravel was pretty much the original remix artist. He'd take another composer's song and give it a massive, high-definition upgrade. His most legendary remix mission involved a piece by another composer, Mussorgsky, called Pictures at an Exhibition. Now, the original was written just for piano. It was good, totally solid. But Ravel looked at it and basically said, yeah, I can turn this into a blockbuster. And his process was pure genius. First, he took the original piano music, you could call it the source code. Then, he started assigning all the melodies to different instruments throughout the entire orchestra. Next, he added his signature touch, all that orchestral color and power we talked about. And finally, he dropped the blockbuster version, completely transforming it from a solo piece into this epic cinematic experience. And did it work? Oh yeah. This quote sums it up perfectly. Ravel's version just made the music feel more alive. It was more vivid, more dynamic, and way more powerful. Honestly, to this day, when most people hear the name Pictures at an Exhibition, they're probably thinking of Ravel's remix. So what does this all add up to? Well, Ravel wasn't just making cool music for his own time. He became one of the original musical influencers, and his legacy is absolutely massive. I mean, his influence is just off the charts. Today, when music students learn about orchestration, Ravel's work is the gold standard. It's literally the textbook model. He directly shaped the sound of epic movie scores. Think about that the next time you're watching a huge blockbuster. And yep, his music is still required listening at the best music schools all over the world. The guy basically wrote the book on how to make an orchestra sound incredible.
So, if you remember just one thing from all this, let it be this. Ravel was the complete package. He had the technical, pro-level skill of an elite gamer, combined with the soul and vision of an amazing artist. He created music that was both brilliantly engineered and just breathtakingly beautiful.
Which leaves us with one final question to think about. Ravel was a master of creating unique sounds and textures. If he were alive making music today, who do you think he'd collaborate with? A pop star? A film composer? Maybe an EDM producer? I'm curious what you think.